Greetings, my lords and my ladies. Welcome to another episode of 10 Facts About Immortals. And tonight I will tell you 10 unbelievable facts about Alexander the Great. He conquered the world before he was old enough to rent a chariot. He never lost a single battle. And his empire stretched from Greece to India, changing the course of history forever. But behind the legend of the divine conqueror lies a story filled with mystery, ambition, and some truly bizarre facts. Here are 10 interesting facts about Alexander the Great you probably didn't learn in history class. Fact number 1. Alexander tamed the untamable. When Alexander was just 12 years old, a horse trader brought a massive, spirited stallion named Bucephalus to his father, King Philip II. The horse was deemed useless, it was too wild and let no one mount it. But young Alexander noticed the horse was simply terrified of its own shadow. He calmly turned the horse to face the sun, so it couldn't see its shadow, and hopped right on. Philip was so impressed, he reportedly said, "My boy, you must find a kingdom big enough for your ambitions. Macedonia is too small for you." Fact 2. His teacher was Aristotle. From the age of 13 to 16, Alexander was tutored by one of the greatest philosophers in history. Aristotle sparked his love for philosophy, medicine, and science. He gave Alexander a copy of Homer's Iliad, which he supposedly slept with under his pillow. This education didn't just make him a brute warrior, it made him a strategic genius who saw himself as a hero from those epic poems. Fact 3. He solved the unsolvable puzzle with a sword. In the city of Gordium, there was a legendary knot tied by the former king. Prophecy said that whatever could untie it would rule all of Asia. After starting at the complex knot, Alexander didn't bother with a string, he simply drew his sword and sliced it in half with one blow. Talk about thinking outside the box, or cutting it open. Fact number 4. He may have actually believed he was a god. After liberating Egypt, he trekked through the desert to the oracle of Amun at Sueva. The priest reportedly greeted him as the son of Amun. To the Egyptians, that just meant he was the rightful pharaoh. But to the Greeks, it meant he was the son of Zeus. After this, Alexander started styling his hair like the lion named Hercules, and demanded that people prostrate themselves before him. With his Macedonian bodies found incredibly awkward and arrogant. Fact number 5. He named a city after his horse. During the Battle of the Hydaspes in modern-day Pakistan, Alexander's beloved horse Bucephalus carried him to victory, despite being severely wounded. The horse finally died shortly after the battle, either from old age or his injuries. To honor his partner of 20 years, Alexander founded a city on the spot and named it Bucephala. Yes, there was once a city in Pakistan named after a horse. Fact number 6. He killed his best friend in a drunken rage. At a party, his longtime friend and general, Cleitus the Black, had too much to drink and started mocking Alexander publicly, praising his father Philip instead. Blinded by alcohol and rage, Alexander snatched a spear from a guard and stabbed Cleitus to death on the spot. He was so horrified by what he had done the next morning that he reportedly tried to stab himself with the same spear. Fact number 7. He hosted the biggest group wedding in ancient history. To unite his Macedonian and Persian empires, Alexander arranged a mass wedding at Susa. He and 90 of his top officers took Persian wives. Alexander himself married Stateira, the daughter of the Persian king Darius. It was the ultimate networking event, despite the fact that most of these marriages fell apart immediately after his death. Fact number 8. We have no idea where he is buried. When Alexander died in Babylon, his body was mummified and placed in a gold sarcophagus. It was headed back to Macedonia but was hijacked by Ptolemy, his general in Egypt. The body ended up in Memphis, then later in Alexandria. For centuries, Romans like Caesar and Augustus visited his tomb. Then, sometime in late antiquity, the location was lost. Today it remains one of the greatest undiscovered treasures in history. Fact number 9. He never lost. In 15 years of conquest, he marched his armies over 11,000 miles and fought over 70 battles, from massive set-piece like Gaugamela to brutal siege warfare like Atia. He never lost a single engagement. His tactics are still studied in military academies today, proving that his education with Aristotle paid off in spades. And fact number 10, we still don't know how he died. In 323 BC, at the age of 32, Alexander collapsed after a night of drinking. He suffered a 12-day fever and died. Theories range from malaria and typhoid fever to poisoning by his own generals. Given that his empire collapsed into war immediately after his death, the poison theory isn't too hard to believe. The world's greatest conqueror was taken down by something. We just don't know what. From taming horses to conquering the world, Alexander the Great crammed more into 32 years than most could in 1,000 lifetimes. So what's your favorite Alexander's fact? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching, and see you again in the Infinity Kingdom. Bye bye.